So right now our script isn't doing anything very interesting. Let's go ahead and make this a little bit more interesting by doing a little bit more and exercising some more of the web API. So right now we're just loading up Google and we're finding that search box and we're typing in Pluralsight. Let's go ahead and modify our script to actually do a little bit more. So we'll type in Pluralsight here, and then let's go ahead and click the Images tab, and then let's go ahead and click the first image. So that's a pretty good test to make sure that we can actually get to the images and get that first image. So the first thing that we'll need to do here is examine this images element. So I'm going to go ahead and inspect that element, and you can see here that we've got a link and we don't have as much to go on here. We can use this link text that says images, but that might be a little bit dangerous because there could be other links that say images here. We also have another K1 here, so this might not be the best thing either. You can see that we've got a class KLS, and that's the web, but this KL is the first one here. So we could either do this by grabbing the class K1 and grabbing the first element, or we could try this link text of images. So in this case, it probably makes sense to go ahead and use the class and then the first here, because this is very unlikely to change and it's going to be pretty clear what we're trying to do. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to go ahead and we're going to create a new variable here, and we'll call this image link, images link, and we're going to go ahead and do driver.find elements, and this time we're going to do by ID or by class name, and we're going to choose KL. So we know we're going to get multiple back here, and so what we're going to do is select the very first one because we know that that will be our images link. And let's make sure we have this parentheses right. Okay, so now we're going to get our images link, and then let's go ahead and click that. So we're going to call imageslink.click, and that should click that link. So let's go ahead and run this up to this point and see what happens here. So we've gone to Google, we've typed in Pluralsight, and we got an exception here. So argument out of range exception. So what this means in this case is that we couldn't find this element. And this is a common problem. We're going to address this a little bit more in the next module. But you can see if I go to Google here, what's happening is as I'm typing, this screen is loading up. So these elements don't exist yet. So this can be a real issue. We're using a lot of Ajax-y type of JavaScript in many apps today. Even Google's homepage is doing this. So we need to be able to handle things like this. And we're going to see a simple way to handle this now. And then in the next module, we're going to see some more complicated and better ways to do this. So the real simple way that we can handle this is we can basically put a timeout on our actions. So we can call driver.manage, and then we can say timeouts, and then we can tell our driver to implicitly wait for a particular time span. So we'll say time span dot from seconds 10. And so what's going to happen here is if it doesn't find an element, it's going to wait for up to 10 seconds before it returns nothing or throws an exception. So now if we go ahead and run this, you should see that we'll go to Google, we're typing in Pluralsight, and we click the images because it waited, it didn't just try and go. So you may have to use something like that, and like I said, we're going to get into a better way to do this in the next module, but I want to keep things fairly simple for now.